Thank you for waiting. GSLI is the connecting piece for expanding or relocating companies to site locations across the U.S. For over
Okay,
25
guys.
years, Global Site Location Industries has provided site selection and economic development services for thousands of companies.
Welcome,
Have you
everybody.
attended
Everybody's
one of
starting to
our
flow in. We've got
prospect
about
live
3 minutes
events?
before we're going
Hundreds
to
of
get started. We'll
communities
get
sit
started
in on
right
our
at
discussions
11. But
with the
if one
decision
of
makers
y'all
of
could go into the
job-creating
chat
projects.
and
Communities and executive
click
teams praise
on
the ease of our site
and let me
selection
know if you can
process from
see our
both perspectives.
screen
So we
and hear
welcome you
us.
to
That
join
would
us
be
for the next
amazing.
event.
Just doing a quick sound check. Thank you, David.
Expanding or relocating
All
your
right.
business can be inefficient and costly. That's why companies turn to global
So
site
we'll give it
location
about 2 more
industries
minutes,
to
3 more
assist in your
minutes, start
search.
right at 11.
Better
So just
yet,
sit back,
our site
relax, and we'll
location
get started at
services
11.
are at no cost to you. They're confidential and completely unbiased. We offer expert guidance through the critical site selection process, all to help create jobs for our local communities. Expanding or relocating facilities? Ask us how we can help you efficiently and cost-effectively navigate finding the right location.
GSLI's Lighthouse AI is transforming the way economic development professionals are identifying and landing projects for their community. Ask Mike Running, Economic Development Director of Dumas, Texas. Mike landed Life Abundance, a custom pet food distributor that will create a $4.4 million impact on their local economy and provide their community with 10 new jobs and growing. Whether your population is less than 15,000 or more than 1 million, GSLI's Lighthouse AI is your answer to increased time and relationships of new business projects.
Let everybody know we got about 2 more minutes before we get started. We'll get started right at 11. So excited to have everybody here. Looks like we got people from all over the country. So I love technology, but we'll let everybody filter in. We'll get started at 11.
Simple math shows you how landing just one of our identified projects can make a big difference in your community. Visit www.gsliprojectportal.com to view projects of ours looking for a new site to call home.
Where are you?
GSLI's Site Location Network is an exclusive group of trusted communities around the country that assist projects on the move. Our community assessment directors are constantly identifying communities that can help the over 100 projects annually that need new locations and employees. Talk to one of our community assessment directors today and see if you can be the next addition to our portfolio of great communities.
All right, guys, it is 11 o'clock, and I want to thank everybody for coming today. This is a true joy for me because I do one-on-one demos each and every day with our coaches. And here's really an opportunity for you to come in, sit back and learn about what being an elite city means and what we've been doing for the past 30 years in terms of growing our organization and helping economic developers, as it says down there, stop chasing and start working qualified projects you can trust. And I know that's a challenge each and every day. So thank you for coming, and we're excited about today's webinar. So basically, we're going to first talk about GSLI. And well, today's agenda, we're going to talk about GSLI. We're going to go over how GSLI's elite cities were born. How do we generate projects? What are some of the key benefits for communities for being an elite city? And we're going to do a live presentation. We'll actually go into our project portal, take a look, peek behind the curtains, take a look at some of the projects, show you how you can actually do that yourself and how you can start building your pipeline from day one of working with our Elite Cities program. And we're going to give away a door prize at the end of the session. So about GSLI. First of all, that's me. I'm Eric Kleinsorge. I'm the CEO, chairman, founder of GSLI. I founded it 30 years ago. And I really have enjoyed the process of learning how to identify projects. But the biggest joy that I find out of our entire organization is the creation of one new job within a community. And that impact is over $500,000 per job created. And that grows every year in terms of the impact that job can make, from the house they buy, to the electricity they use, to the groceries they buy, to the Amazon deliveries to their house, and to the families that they bring in and share the community and its benefits with their families. So we really thrive and enjoy the process, because at the end of the day, that's what my team and our entire staff is here to do, is help increase jobs around the nation. Here's a quick look at our Elite Cities members. One thing to remember, we are exclusive. We do not create a competitive environment with our Elite Cities program. It is a program designed to help communities put themselves in front of as many opportunities as possible, so that they can increase their chances of wins and job creation. You can find this on our website. It's live. And so the day someone becomes a part of our Elite Cities, their profile and their information goes onto this map, so that companies can start engaging and seeing who's a part of our Elite Cities program. First thing I want to start off with, and kind of go through these, and in the chat box, if you could get prepared, I'd love to see your input. These are the challenges, the 6 challenges that we identify each and every day that communities have in terms of business attraction. First, limited time and budget. If a 1 is minor challenge and 5 is major challenge, 9 times out of 10, we have a major challenge, or a decreased budget, or a tighter budget, or really the biggest thing is time. If you could, in the chat box, pop in there, how challenged are you? Do you find it a major challenge? Give me a 5 in the chat box. If you're not, give me a 1. Next, strategic and consistent follow-up, really knowing a process and being able to follow that process, which is typically a component of time for consistent follow-up. Not as big a challenge for a lot of communities, but it's still a challenge because, again, I said, because of the time. Need more qualified leads. That's all over the place. Some communities are running out of assets, so they're starting to develop their greenfield sites, but they always need more, not leads, qualified leads. They find that it's worth it if it's a qualified lead to make sure that their community gets in front of the project. But if it's a suspect lead, kind of a time waster. So needing more qualified leads has typically been a good challenge. Knowing the best way to find leads. Not all of you are marketing degreed experts in how to market, advertise, generate, qualify quality leads. And you're economic development professionals, and we understand that. And sometimes boards don't understand that. They put someone in a position, they say, here's a budget, go get me leads. And then they hold you accountable to being an expert at that. So that is typically a major challenge by a lot of our communities that we work with. A big one, I always envision an economic development professional in a dark room in a corner with a spotlight on them, and their board is all kind of staring at them saying, hey, what'd you spend and what'd you get for us this year? And it's almost like a threat of, hey, we gave you this budget and we need results. And did you get those results? So it's really challenging to put an ROI on the advertising or investment that you made, and helping them understand that it takes time and it takes a process. The last thing, getting approval. That has typically not been a challenge. Most economic development professionals are put in their position and trusted to make a decision, but sometimes they have boards that aren't proactive in growth and will challenge them on a lot of budget items or things. So, but most of all, that's been kind of a light challenge for a lot of our communities. These things are important. and really determining where you are, and if our program is something you want to participate in. If you found yourself majorly challenged in those, then you're in the right place. We're excited to have you here. How was GSLI born? Man, how many times have I been asked this in terms of how did you really create this program to help economic developers? I would love to take all the credit, but I can't. We were formed by economic development professionals for economic development professionals. I just have been the vehicle to carry out their mission. We started with 25 economic development professionals who really, they came to me frustrated. They were doing all sorts of activities, and the top three that they said they're frustrated with was, first, the time wasted on research, the amount of time that they had to set aside to go, how am I going to put together a attraction program, marketing, advertising, qualification, all of those items to go out and research to make sure I'm investing our community's money in the right way. Second, the expense. Once I identified those, the true expense of implementing those, coming up with it's one, funding it's another, and they found out that's a very expensive venture to go out and not really the ability to make mistakes really wasn't forgiven. So coming up with the right amount of time, the right amount of money, and then the last part, the headaches of qualification and follow-up. So our team, in terms of a project, when we identify it, our average number of engagement attempts is 22 per qualified project before we actually get engaged, get them qualified, and start that educational process of us being educated on their actual site. So it is a process. So those 25 economic development professionals said, hey, we have these issues and we would love to have those eliminated. If we could get those out of our life and we could hire someone or give someone, each of us give a little money to that professional to go out and do that aspect of our job so that we can eliminate that and really just focus on what we do best, working qualified projects, because it really doesn't matter how we get them. We just want to know that they're qualified projects. So that's how we were born. We put together a program. Each of these 25 gave us a small chunk of money. We pooled their money together and put it into a marketing fund that focused on one area of expertise, finding and qualifying projects. What we essentially did is we flipped the marketing model. Those 25 economic development professionals were spending 80% of their time and monies on searching, identifying, trying to find the right way to find projects and implementing all of their resources to finding them, and only 20% of their time really actually working them. And what we did with the program that we put together is we actually flipped it. We found they were only spending 20% of their time on working to find projects and 80% of their time submitting and working with qualified projects. People ask, how do we generate our leads? And this is something you can employ in your own departments. We do what's called lead pillars. So if you have a department and you have multiple different segments of your marketing, I encourage you to put these each in a spreadsheet and say, okay, we have these different sectors. Let's see how many leads are generated for each of those sectors, and then divide the cost of that lead pillar by the number of leads generated. That can give you an ROI and say, okay, we invested in trade shows, we spent $70,000, we got 10 leads, we spent $7,000 per lead. Is that a good return on investment? So these are the pillars that we have. We have industrial campaigns. We engage with over 40,000 companies per month via email nurturing campaigns. We typically target the 9 fastest growing industries each year. Magazine advertising. We have a relationship with a national magazine in which we put ads in, and we also take advantage of their online presence, which is over 900,000 visitors per year, of promoting and asking them questions. They have a newsletter, and we poll every single person that signs up for the newsletter if they have an expansion or relocation project, which helps us start that relationship and working with those companies. We do trade shows. We do anywhere from 4 to 9 trade shows per year, depending on the year. During the pandemic, we did 0 because there weren't any. And now they're back, they're live. And the last few shows are 75% of the numbers that they were pre-pandemic. And people are itching to get out and meet people face to face. So we're excited about our trade show programs. We had a very hefty one this year, which I'll go through in a minute. We do a lot of internet research, employing a ton of AI technology to go out and search the internet and identify projects as a starting point. And all of these are really starting points. No matter what area the project comes in, it is one excuse to call and say, hey, we met you at a trade show. We saw y'all saw this on the internet. You signed up for our newsletter. We'd love to be here to help. And in fact, our services are free. Some of the quick benefits, because I want to get to the live portion of our presentation. Trade shows, I just talked about them. These are the trade shows we did last year. You might recognize some of these shows. We're getting ready to head to London, which they have supposedly 5,000 registered companies from overseas that are looking at doing business in the US. We're going to be there talking. We are doing seminars during the trade show, and we've got some of our communities that'll be presenting in those seminars. And it's just an opportunity to get a huge number of qualified projects or qualified people in front of us. Most of the other trade shows are just going to a fab tech or whatnot, but the importance of this is our members use us, or the elite cities use us as a free resource. So if they are doing trade shows and they want to cancel them, or they want to attend trade shows for a specific industry, they can attend with us at no charge and come exhibit. What you see here are some banners. Those are some of our elite cities that choose to sponsor it, and they want to spotlight their communities at some shows. And that's another great opportunity without actually the overall expense of the booth to get a lot of high recognition. Prospect Lives, those are some of the funnest things that I do and enjoy. And our team works really, really hard to put these together. But it is an opportunity where we bring the prospect on just like this. We talk with them, we interview them, we find out in depth what their project is going to do and what it means, and what are the tipping points for them to make a decision on a location. We then open up the opportunity for you as a community to ask questions one-on-one to the project to see if it's a really good match for your community to make a submission. We're all about making sure your submissions are useful to the projects. And the projects love these because they say the amount of time and energy it takes them to be able to do this on their own. It would be crazy. We've had upwards of 50 communities on one of our prospect lives, and for them to be able to present their project to that many communities at once, they couldn't do it. The communities love us because they get to actually come in and learn what projects are looking for, use it as an educational opportunity, and use it as an opportunity to really get in front of a project and see if their community is a good match. Always, the most important thing that I feel in our company is that whenever we deliver a project, that the community knows that it's 100% verified. It is going to at least create 10 new jobs. It's going to at least create 10,000 square foot of space. It's going to be making a decision in less than 18 months, and it's going to be locating outside of a 50-mile radius of their current facility. So it's a true expansion project. So knowing that, it helps the community identify, are they going to be pitching the project because they are on the short list in terms of the region or state, or are they going to be trying to sell their community to the project because it's in the right industry, has the right number of jobs, perfect fit for the community. We just need an opportunity to get on the short list and introduce our area. So our team helps craft and put together those messages so they're appropriate for the project. When a project's put into our portal, you get live alerts immediately. The second that it goes in, the portal issues out a email that says, hey, there's a new project, brief overview of it. And it says, click here to go in, and gives you the opportunity to go directly into the portal, take a look at the project, take a look at the needs of the project, see if there's a match, and either disqualify yourself and remove yourself from consideration, or say, hey, this is a great project, I want to get in front of it, which all of these are housed in our portal. It's something that we've been developing and continue to develop over the past 3 years. When our members have feature suggestions, we put our team on it to make sure that those are implemented and happen. I always hear this from our coaches. The submission process is probably the easiest in the industry. Our clients are excited that whenever they hear there's a call for an RFI, it's not going to take them an entire day or two to put together the RFI. Our RFIs take 15 to 20 minutes to produce, and we let technology prepare the entire RFI. So we have what's called sticky inputs. So those stay the same as you need it. So once you've completed your first RFI, if it's tax information, education information, infrastructure information, all those are meant to stay the same. It allows you to just go in and customize the areas that are most important for the project. Once you hit submit, the technology behind the scenes builds this entire RFI submission report. This is basically the cover of one, and allows us to professionally submit this to the project for consideration. This is probably one of the most useful things. You're not left out on your own to figure this out. I know there's a lot of programs out there that you're required to kind of go in and figure it out yourself, and they do have a support line. We think it's so important that we have a dedicated coach that keeps you on track. So they set up a monthly meeting so that you can spend your time focused in that meeting on educating the project on that opportunity, or what opportunities your community has, asking for updates on any of the projects that you have in your pipeline and other things. And I think Amanda, we have Amanda, she's one of our coaches. Talk a little bit about what you do for your clients. What are some of the discussions you guys have?
Hey, can everybody hear me?
Absolutely.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. A typical meeting, which we try to do monthly, can range from going through the projects that you guys would be interested in submitting on to answering any questions that might come up. Projects that would be good to submit on, whether you're having issues with sites, what sites you have to show us, and going through anything like that. Was there anything in specific, Eric, that you wanted me to discuss?
No, one of the things, Amanda, you've impressed me with so much is whenever like a project, I'll bring up the example. It was a housing company, and they were building factories, and Amanda actually interfaced with the project and talked with the project almost too much, I would say. They were calling her daily, and
Yeah.
they had 50 different plants that they were trying to launch. And Amanda was pitching for her clients and working with them and setting up actual site visits. And so I think that's important to know that if you have an issue with a project or a question, you've got a team member there to work with, not only just that once a month, but anytime that you need them.
Yeah, in specific, if there's a project that you see that you really want to try to get in front of, and it's not just me, it's the whole team. I mean, Ashley is really, really helpful, our project director, in getting folks in front of those projects. So if there's a specific project on these meetings that you're having with us, or just even emailing us, or, reaching out by phone and saying, I think I really have a site. And I've got some clients that are great at doing that. That say, hey, I really want to get in front of this person. Can we try to, get a phone call with them? Or can you try to connect me with them? Which reminds me, Eric, I've got to get a phone number for a specific project for a client today from you.
Awesome. Yeah, and the other thing that we do twice a month, we have what's called a jam session. So those are quick in and outs. They're 15 to 20 minutes, but we talk about portal features. We talk about new technologies. We've shared AI technologies and how communities can adopt that into their own programs. And then we do an update on a particular project, one that you guys that we feel should be moved to the front burner in terms of submissions. And we go a little more in depth of our conversations with them and our discussions with them. And those are all accessible to our Elite Cities individuals. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate your time today.
Sure. Any questions?
Yeah, if you have any questions, pop them in the thing, and we're here to help you guys out throughout the session.
Perfect. Thanks, Eric. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
One of the last things we know that people don't realize about us a lot of times, we can be your end-to-end solution, meaning we do everything from website development to AI lead generation programs to video production, helping with branding and marketing and trade show help of getting and gaining leads at trade shows. The most important thing to know from that is we do it at pretty much cost. We have not ever really been challenged with anyone coming at a less cost because this is an add-on to our company. So we can offer it at a much lower solution price to help you. And the biggest thing that our communities like is they don't have to go search for 5 different vendors and work with 5 different people to become fully turnkey in what your operations are. And by the way, all of those products that we produce are 100% GAT satisfied guaranteed. So we don't stop on them and we don't upcharge and continue to charge until the client is 100% satisfied with the final product. Cresta, I know we are about 5 minutes past, but if I've got a Cresta. Cresta is our onboarding genius.
Hey, everybody.
She works with our clients every day. I wanted to kind of take us into the portal live so you can actually see the portal and some of the features. It is going to be a high level look at some of the top features. She does an in-depth onboarding, which is anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes teaching you how to operate. So Chris, if you want to start, this is good for everybody. Start by showing how to create an account.
Absolutely. Can everybody see my screen?
We can.
Hey, everyone. So just a couple things I wanted to touch base on. The first one would be if you haven't been to the portal and you need to create an account, it is super easy. This is GSLIprojectportal.com. And you're simply going to go to this sign up button right here in the upper right hand corner. And if you click that, it's going to ask you a few brief questions right here, and you'll hit or enter that in and hit create account, and bam, you are good to go. But I'm going to switch us over to logging back into our demo account so we can take a look at a few things that I want to show you in here. Whenever you enter into the portal, this is the first thing that you see, a welcome back. E, the bot, is our demo account. He's part of the Elite Cities. And a few things that I just want to touch on really quickly is, of course, browsing projects, because that's the most important thing. And that's really what you guys are here to do. So you'll just click this Browse Projects button, and it's going to take you right into all of our projects. If you are not a member, these will be X'd out, but you can still click into them and read more about the projects. You just cannot submit. You do get 1,500 credits when you first sign up, so that you do have one free submission, and you get that every year, regardless of whether you are a member or not. But just a quick way to delve down into projects that are for you. We have this filter section right here, and you can filter by the number of jobs that you can provide. You can filter by a building size if there's a specific building that you're trying to fill. If you're trying to attract different industries, you can filter by industry. And I would definitely recommend using this, because we don't remove projects from the portal. We mark them as landed versus seeing them as active, like you see here. So the first thing you'd want to do is just go to those active projects if you're searching for projects. But also, that only takes you down to, I think it's 16 pages worth of active projects. So to find the projects that are the best fit for your community, I definitely recommend using these filters to help you do that.
Preston, good. Click on
yeah.
the link. A lot of people ask us, hey, how many projects do you have actually landed? I'll show you. I'd like to show them some kind of cool on that.
Absolutely.
So if a project lands, we actually reward them with a little trophy, which is kind of a fun animation. The little bell on the left, that means there was an update, and that's probably that it landed. And we go out and we find where when we get the update, it's where it landed. And if there's a available press release, then we provide the press release for you to kind of go in and learn from that. Important there, because sometimes these projects come in threes. So if they just landed, they have another project right behind, and sometimes they mention that in their press releases. So thank you, Cressa.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Eric, is there any other specific things you really wanted me to touch on during this overview?
Really just show them the calendar and how to add their own prospects, because this system has been built, and this was brought to us by one of our elite cities. Hey, we love the projects, but we want a CRM so we can be organized and have everything in one database. So show them how to add an internal project.
Absolutely. You'll see this button here that says Add Internal Project, and you're just going to click that. And you'll go through all the steps that we go through when we're putting a project into the system for you to view. The only difference is that once you complete all of this, the only place that project is going to show up is in your database. So it doesn't go anywhere else. And the way that you'll be able to tell that is an internal project is that you'll get this little banner over here to the right that says internal project. And so Project Furnish It, if you are in the portal at all, if you just want to do a check for it, I'm pretty sure you won't find it, because it is my own project that I put in for specifically my community. But that way I can use the notes feature, the submission, get the full report, print it out, make it look really professional, and use all of the features that we have here in the portal for all of our own projects as well.
Yeah, three of the things I think are really key there. If you also see the other banners, these are other features that our members brought to us. They say, hey, we have these people, but we don't know if we've submitted on them, or if we've started our submission and had to go away for a meeting and I need to come back. So we added these banners called pending and submitted, so that you can easily see if you have made a submission. If you could, Cressa, show them how to put them in the pipeline, because that's what this whole system is about, is building your pipeline and being able to focus on the projects that you're working.
Absolutely. So really quickly here, if you are on the Browse Projects page and you find a project, there's two different ways that you can add it to your pipeline. If you are on this outer page and you say, yes, this is a project I want to work, you're simply going to click this funnel and you're going to watch, it's going to fly right up there. And now it's in your pipeline. You definitely want to put any projects you're trying to work into your pipeline so that you don't have to dig through all of these projects every single time to find the ones that you're working on. If you choose to not put that one in or decide it was a bad fit, it's really simple. You'll simply click that again and away it goes. You can also do this from inside the project. So I'm going to click on this one right here, and you'll see that same add to pipeline right here for everybody to add to their pipeline if they're in the project, read about it, and decided, oh, this is a great fit for my community.
Yeah, and real quick, click on the submit button. That's really the true joy of this system, the 15 to 20-minute submissions. They just walk you through. Now, this one, I don't know, Chris, you'd have to tell me if it already has some of the sticky fields or not, but this is kind of the process that you go through. Okay, so it does. So some of these fields that are more complicated to fill out, they hold their information. They can be changed, but going through this and customizing, uploading available spec sheets on buildings that you're submitting, the cover letter is probably the most important part that we work with you on and make sure that it's appropriate and what the project is looking for. But you go through that process, and if you can show one on the backside that's been submitted.
Absolutely. Let's scroll up here. I'm going to come over here to my dashboard, which is where you can find a variety of the things that we've talked about and also your submissions. So let's see here.
So this is the actual submission we were talking about that it puts together. It'll allow you to kind of reopen that and add anything if you forgot to put in the submission. We take these submissions and deliver them to the prospect. If you want it for your own personal use, you can click download and keep it on your files. The other importance that I want to mention on the pipeline is projects. They will go dormant. They either hire a site locator, or there's an attorney that's involved, or there's some privacy that they want to keep about their project, and it'll go kind of silent on us. And we give them 45 days as an opportunity to re-engage with us. But because we've went through the time, expense, and energy of qualifying that lead and it goes dormant, it doesn't mean we need to hide that lead from the community, because sometimes those projects want to work with them directly. So if a project is in your pipeline and it's went dormant on us, we will release the contact information. And if it is in your pipeline, you'll get a notice that says, hey, this client's went dormant, and you'll be able to click on a contact button and open it up, and you'll get the contact information to reach out directly and start working with the project. The only thing we ask there is feedback of the process that you've gotten through, but we then kind of hand it off and say, hey, good job, go for it. This is your particular project. Calendar is the last thing, Caresta probably, and the trade shows.
Absolutely. So here is, you can get to the calendar right here on the dashboard, but also you'll see it popping up here in the bottom left-hand corner on several of the pages. So you can go either by clicking this up and going to the full calendar, or you can go to this dashboard and choose My Day Calendar. On here, you're going to see a few different things. All of our submissions are going to be highlighted in red, and if you just hover over them, it'll tell you exactly what that submission is for and when it's due. You're also going to see any of the times that we have trade shows going on, whether it be a walking show, an exhibiting show, whatever may be going on. And then, of course, the link to get into the jam session. So if you don't want to dig through your email, we send out an email to every member for the jam session. You can actually just come here and click this link, and it'll take you right into the Zoom meeting for that jam session. Again, those are just the 20 to 30-minute meetings that we have. But you can also add notes here. You can add them within the project if it's specific to a project, or you can add them here, and it will make a calendar reminder for you right here on this calendar. So it's a great place to just kind of come in and see what you needed to get done and when you wanted to get it done by.
Yep, it really truly meant to be a CRM to help keep you organized on not just our projects, but the projects that you're developing within your own systems. And so, and last thing, show them the trade shows, and then we'll go back to the finish of the presentation.
Absolutely. So, oops, sorry. It's giving me a hard time here, I think, because I'm in a, there, no. Let me just reload here.
Yeah, if you'll hit home, that's usually,
Okay, there we go. Trade show tour is right here. And you can only see one show right now because that's the only show that we have left for the year, but you can always come back to these past shows to see kind of what we've been going through. These are the shows that we've been to, some of our sponsors throughout those shows. If you want more information, you can simply click Learn More. We will create a report about the show to kind of give our findings of what we found during that show. And you can actually take a look at it. You can download it if you like, but only our members are able to get that information.
yeah, and the last part back on the other, the listing. There, if you scroll down, when we have a list, there's a little people icon over there on the right. We will provide the full contact information on all the contacts. That can range anywhere from 50 upwards of 700 contacts that we generate from a show. And you can use that on your own. Again, that is only accessible. So if you're in a free account and come to our trade shows, don't expect to be able to download that information and get it. So it's VIP information for our elite cities.
And then we have this button right here, just in case you want
yeah.
to attend or sponsor. You can just click this button. It'll take you to a form. It's not a commitment form. It's just a interest form so that we can follow up and learn more about your request.
Yeah. And then make sure you have your badge. If you're coming to attend with us free, if you're bringing your mayor, if you're bringing a community member, really trying to make it as organized as possible for each show and easy for you to attend.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I think that's it. Unless anybody has questions, pop them in there and we can show anything that you are interested in the portal. And I'm going to go ahead and take back over the screen and we can always pop back if we need to.
Perfect.
I guess, Caressa, could you stop sharing? It's just it's telling me I cannot take back. There you go. All right. So that is an in-depth kind of overview of everything and why we were born, everything that we're doing. A lot of people, you know, might be asking, what is the prospecting program worth? And I always like to ask that question. If anybody has some comments or what they feel this program was worth, put it in the chat box. But I'm going to tell you what the investment is. How do you start building your pipeline? We have two investments. We've kept it very simple. Both have equal, the exact same features in terms of unlocking the portal, unlimited project submissions, your ability to attend or get the leads from all of the trade shows, submit press releases, one-on-one dedicated coach meetings, VIP access to prospect lives and jam sessions, and access to our site selector database. People do either a 6 month if they're just trying to dip their toe in and make sure that the program's worth it. 90%, 95% of our members are elite members. They do it for an annual investment of $8,500, which is only $708 per month. People want to know what to expect whenever they come on board. We have a very systematic process. We secure the agreement that says, hey, you're going to take one of the positions in your state. And that's important because when we hit a max number in the state, which is 4 to 5, then we don't allow other members. We create a waiting list for people to come on if someone drops. We also then, once we you remit payment, that kind of kicks everything off in our system. We do an onboarding that's with Caressa. She spends in-depth amount of time to teach you the system, make sure all the questions are answered, help you re-understand about all the benefits, and then kind of sets the things in motion from your standing appointment with your coach to helping you understand about setting up your Community Connect profile, which is a part of the system that we use to also push out in our marketing and drive people to your community. Once all that is done, we give you the thumbs up, we activate your system, and you're good to go. So from day one, your ability to go in and start taking a look at the projects that are a good match. If a trade show's happening that month, you're even more lucky. You have an opportunity to attend a show with us right away. Here's kind of a Q&A opportunity. I'd love to ask if anybody has questions. This is what we covered. We talked about GSLI. We talked about how GSLI was born. We talked about how we generate our projects. What are some of the key benefits if you chose to be a part of our elite cities? Caressa, thank you for the live presentation of the key features, how to start building your pipeline. And if we don't have any questions, that means we've done an amazing job. And if we do, we could answer those right now. I guess I will ask, it's coming up on the next slide, but Cresswell went ahead and put up a poll. Would you be interested in considering our Elite Cities program? And just, if you could answer that poll, that will alert us to either have one of our coaches give you a call or send you an email about setting you up in the system and allowing you to participate in that. I'm going to leave that poll up because this might interest you. Everyone's a winner. It is for attending this webinar and learning about our program. I'm going to do two things. This is something we're doing in October. We've got a code called October Treats. We're going to give $500 off either program, whether or not you do the starter program or the Elite Cities annual program. And bigger yet, we're going to unlock a value equal to the, I'm going to give you enough credits equal to the value of the investment you made. So if you invested in this 6-month program, you're going to get $4,900 worth of credits and $8,500 worth of credits on the annual program. Why is that key? Credits allow you, and Caressa kind of hit on that during her presentation. Credits allow you to go back and lock a lead. So your subscription or your part of the Elite Cities starts from the day you get onboarded and start for 12 months. So that means all the past leads are locked. That will allow you to go back and be picky, choosy, decide which ones are a good match for your community that are still active and get submissions in so that you can go back to your board and say, hey, we made this investment. We've already submitted on 3 projects. Just so you know, $4,900 is about 3 projects and $8,500 is about 5 projects that you can go back and unlock and work. So I do not see any questions. Caressa, do you see any questions? I do not. So
I do not, Eric.
I think it's time to do our door prize. So I have everybody's that's on the webinar is assigned a number, and Caressa, we're going to do a random generation of a number. And if you'll give me the number, I will count down and find that individual and we'll make the announcement because you must be present to win and you're here.
Absolutely. Give me just 1 second. We're going to do that. And can you tell me? Okay, never mind. Let's see. It looks like number 5. Whoever number 5 is. Number 5 is our lucky winner.
All right. I do not know how to pronounce this. Is it JC or is it Jackie? JC Stewart. I'm going to assume it's JC Stewart. But JC, we've got your email. If you could pop it into the chat box right when we sign off here today, we will email you the $100 gift certificate. And thank you for participating. And everybody, I really do want to thank you for the time. I know you guys are busy. in what you do. I want to thank you for what you do, whether or not you use our services or not. You do a great job for our community and helping grow your own individual communities, and we appreciate that. But give us a call today, and if you're interested, we'd love to set up a demo, answer any questions you have, and would love to have you participate in our Elite Cities program. With that said, I want to say thank you to everybody, and till we meet again, either on one of our other master series or one of our webinars. Thanks for coming, and goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.